I recently did a poll on my community tab asking, what are some of the goals that you have for yourself for 2023? Is that going to be getting out of debt, saving money? And 35% of people said that they wanted to save money. Now you'll have to go over and check out my other video where I was talking about how to get out of debt. But in this video, we're going to be talking about how to save $5,000. Let's get into it. Let me know in the comments, is it easy or hard for you to save money? Over the years, I would typically say, I'm typically not a saver. I'm really a spender, even though sometimes it do seem like I'm kind of stingy sometimes. But over the past 2 years, I have saved over $5,000, over $10,000, but I did pay off my auto loan early, and that was $20,000. So I had put some of the money towards that one time. And this year, I want to make a savings goal for myself as well. Now, I'm not thinking about doing a savings challenge, but I definitely hope that these tips will help you to be able to save money this year. Now, the first tip is going to be, think about, why do you want to save this money? Is it because you want to go on a trip? Do you want to save 3 to 6 months of your expenses? Or you want to pay down debt? Really consider, how much do you need to save? Is it just $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000? So you can use this on any amount of money that you want to save. Second, create a budget. Of course, I was going to say create a budget, because we really have to know, what is our starting point? How much money do we have coming in compared to going out? And then how much money do we have left over? This is going to give us a great idea on where our starting point is. Now, you can always drop down in the description and get my free budget and debt repayment template, or you can go over to my Etsy shop and get my 2023 digital budget planner. That way it can help us to stay on target with creating our budget. Now, even though we want to save $5,000, $10,000, or whatever the amount is for you, we want to first make sure that we are current on all our bills. Because if we're going to try to start saving money, but then our bills are not current, then that's how we're going to kind of nibble off of the money that we're going to save. So we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that we're current on all of our bills first. And then maybe like a 2B, if you have some debt that you want to pay off, create that debt snowball for yourself. That way you can know where to allocate the money. Because if we create like a solid plan, if we're doing like a savings challenge or wanting to save, we're not going to get overwhelmed because we have a plan for whatever it is that we're wanting to do. Now, also with us checking our budget, this is going to give us the idea to say, okay, whatever that amount is that we want to save, do we have enough money left over within the month to be able to do that? Is it possible that we might need to cut back on some expenses? Or is it possible that we're over, spending in some areas? And I know for myself, because how, let's say you're doing trials, different subscriptions and trials. Y'all, I don't even know why sometimes I will forget to, go to that trial. And let's say if I'm not going to do it anymore, to go ahead and cancel it. Or are they different subscriptions that we're not using? It's not beneficial for ourselves. So that's like little sums of money that's just going out the window. And that little bit of money can add up at the end of the year. So that's why it's good right now, even if it's reoccurring subscriptions that we're doing and we're not using, go ahead and cut those off. But let me know in the comments, do you have any, or has it happened to you where you had subscriptions that were coming out and then, the next month you saw it on your bank statement or your credit card, you're like, dang, I totally forgot to, cut this subscription off. So I'm telling y'all, it's like those little small things can really like add up. And also we want to see, maybe if we're not bringing in enough money, is this the time for us to go ahead and, start a side hustle or do things like that? Because one, either we're going to be cutting back on expenses, or two, we have to bring in more money. So that's why it's really good to do our budget. So we'll know, okay, maybe I can just cut back a little bit. Maybe I don't have to get another job. Because sometimes I really do feel like most of the times we make enough money, but since we don't have a budget, or we're not really sitting down and seeing where our money is going, and we're just spending money, by the time we go to use the money for paying bills or doing what we're supposed to or saving, it's not there. So number 3 is going to be to set up either like auto drafts to where it's going to go into a separate savings account. And plus, getting a separate savings account is going to help to where maybe we're not nibbling on the money, because like I said previously, you know how we'll have all these ideas with money, but then we'll just kind of nibble, and when we go back, it's not there. So if we go ahead and set up, these auto drafts or things like that to where it's just going to come out of our check and go into that savings account, then it takes the pressure off of us to decide, okay, this month I don't really want to save. But then if it's auto drafted, then you don't have to make that decision. So it's always good to set up those automatic drafts so that we can make it happen. Number 4, consider possibly when you open up that savings account, maybe let it be a high yield savings account, because I know for myself, I have a savings account with Navy Federal, but it is not really earning that much. But let's say you have like $5,000 in a savings account and it's just sitting there. Possibly putting it in a high yield savings account could help to, within the year, maybe you can get 3.25 or maybe even 4%. I know one high yield savings account that I was looking at was the Discover. So I'm going to be putting a video out soon about that, because I really think that that's going to be a great idea so that we can really accrue more money on top of the money that we're saving. Number 5, consider, are you going to be getting any extra money coming in? Do you get a bonus? Are you going to be getting a tax refund? Sometimes we do get paid an extra check within the month. I want to say at least 2 times this year, we're going to be getting paid an extra check. So when we get the extra money coming in, maybe you don't want to use all of the money for it, but possibly you want to set aside some of that money that can help you to get to your savings goal. Now, let me know in the comments, are you going to be saving $5,000 this year? Or do you have any tips that you're going to be using to save money? Let us know in the comments. That way we can help each other out. Check out this video where I was talking about 5 credit cards that you could possibly do a balance transfer on up to 21 months so that it can help you pay down debt fast.
It's not a game.